Today, I am a paranormal investigator. You know, paranormal's one of these words that we hear a lot, but what does it actually mean? Well, para comes from the Old Greek. It means beyond, altered, contrary, irregular, abnormal. And the term's been used in the United States for maybe 100 years. Paranormal is a subset of pseudoscience, and I have to say that. Paranormal includes things like reincarnation, auras, psychic energies, telekinesis, ESP, and of course, hauntings. And the place behind me, right here, is said to be haunted. But does a ghost drift the halls and walk through the walls of the Brown Mansion in Coffeyville, Kansas? My friend is a frequent haunter of alleged haunts. His name is Bourassa. We're going to do our own investigation tonight. Brandon is a ghost hunter?
I'm a guy that goes places where there's supposed to be ghosts.
Ghost hunter.
Sure. I am just, a skeptic who enjoys paranormal stuff and puts himself in positions to maybe experience something.
I buy that.
Yeah.
If you and I go into the Brown Mansion and you hear the shattering of glass or creaking boards, your first instinct isn't going to be grandma, right?
Well, I'm going to think somebody broke in. We should go get them, or we should get out.
The sun is setting, which means the spirits may be rising. We're going to go into the Brown Mansion, and we are going to go room to room, story to story, encounter to encounter, and see what happens.
Let's do it.
The Brown Mansion was built by a man named William Pitzer Brown, or W.P. Brown. It was completed back in 1906. Brown had founded the Coffeyville Mining and Gas Company. He had made his fortune, and he had invested much of that fortune into this home. W.P. Brown married a woman named Nancy Kilgore. This was in 1884, 22 years before this place was constructed. They got married in Ohio. They settled down in Kansas. Both W.P. and Nancy would die in the 1930s, and they left this house to their one surviving child, an adult daughter named Violet. Violet had seen much tragedy in her family. Mother Nancy had lost 2 sons in childbirth. 4-year-old William had died of pneumonia. And 11-year-old Donald would perish of complications from diabetes. When W.P. and Nancy fell ill, it was Violet who moved back into this mansion to care for them. And it is said that in the few precious moments she could find for herself, she would steal away upstairs to the ballroom, and she would dance alone. This is the 3rd floor ballroom. It's funny, it feels empty without feeling lonely. Or maybe I'm just being romantic. But we can picture Violet moving her feet across the floor, stealing a few minutes of life as her mother and father were approaching death. What is it about dancing? Is it that when we see a dancer drifting across the floor, it almost looks like they're hovering above it, like an apparition from another world? Did Violet move gracefully on or above the floor when she moved herself from corner to corner in this Brown Mansion ballroom? This piano is apparently several hundred years old. It is said that the alleged ghost of W.P. Brown isn't seen or heard as much as it is smelled. Apparently, W.P. liked to smoke his pipe in the first floor dining room behind me and also in the library, where the paper of the books would soak up all of those aromas. Walking this lower level then becomes not a paranormal encounter for the eyes and ears, but for the nose, the scent of old tobacco drifting through the rooms. Maybe the pipe gave W.P. one of his few pleasures in life, as his children were taken from him through death.
So we were down in the basement and we were investigating. And at the time, well, actually down there, you'll see it, there's a ledge. And when we walked by, we have a video of it. You can see a screwdriver on the ledge. It wasn't like halfway tipping off. It's like shoved up against like the wall part of it. And we're walking down, all of a sudden we hear like this like noise right in, like literally right behind us. And we're like, what the heck was that? And so we turn around and the screwdriver was like down by our feet. So it had to gone like what, like 20 feet? 10 feet, 10, 20 feet, something like that. It was the same screwdriver because we looked back on that ledge and it wasn't there. Whoa, what the hell? No way. No way. No way. What fell? Hello? I thought you hit something. Yeah, I know. You were right behind me. Can you do that again? Is it that screwdriver?
Now, I mentioned the 11-year-old boy, Donald, who died in this house. He died in 1911, but he was homeschooled here in that very room behind me. When his heart finally stopped, his mother had that room sealed completely, and it would remain untouched for another 26 years. It was only after Nancy died that Donald's little world would be reopened. It's said that Donald had died terribly, but he haunts happily. People have said they've heard the sound of whistling. Other people say they've seen a little boy sitting on the floor playing with his toys. He looks totally content and untroubled. He is spiritually tethered to this place, according to the legends. Now, I couldn't find any reports about the other two boys, the sons that were stillborn. It is said that perhaps they never fully entered this world to begin with. Now, elevator?
Be brave to go on
I'm sorry, that rope is just straight up noose material.
I know.
Oh, and speaking of Halloween decorations, what a nice touch.
I don't think it's a decoration, Seth.
The Reaper. Oh my God. This was the bowling alley, and that is seriously a century-old bowling pin, right? Did I just knock over?
I think something threw it at us. That's what we'll tell you.
Is that what happened? Sorry to the spirits of the 300 game. I am sorry. And they were never seen or heard from again.
Sitting there laughing at the demonic pictures.
Brandon, you've done a lot of these. Did you feel the cold chill, hear the whisper? Did you experience anything supernatural?
I can't say that I did.
It's still an amazing tour, an amazing story, a wonderful experience, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's so much fun. I love going to these places. I love experiencing abandoned places. I love just walking around history. So even though I don't expect to find anything supernatural, I'm putting myself in the places where maybe something someday will happen to me, and I'm staying open to it, even if I don't actually believe right now. Maybe something will happen. Who knows?
I so appreciate the Brown Mansion staff allowing me to take the tour and just sort of go from place to place on my own, especially knowing that I'm a skeptic. In fact, the tour guide pointed and said, "Are you the skeptic?" And I nodded and said, "Yes, I've never seen or felt a ghost. I didn't see or feel a ghost today, nothing otherworldly." To prove I am not just being a killjoy, I have produced 2 Ghost Stories audiobooks. I do a Ghost Stories podcast every single October. I love movies about hauntings. I would spend a night in a graveyard just for fun. I think the best parts about ghostly stuff is that they provide opportunities to fire up the imagination, to play along, perhaps even to feel conditioned response that draws us into a cold chill or a good scare. But if somebody says spirits are real, yet they exist beyond our ability to measure them or prove them, well, we should stay skeptical. And if the scientific method someday suggests actual ghosts in the machine, let's get that data into peer review immediately. And then call me, because that is a ghost story that I would really love to hear.